What's up everybody? Today I'm here to share with you my top 10 villains of all time. I'm really excited to share this list with you, and to be honest, it was very hard to come up with a list because there's just so many great villains out there. So then I decided to choose the villains that impacted me the most, either by terrifying me or just because I think they're really cool villains. And also stay tuned because very soon I'm gonna be posting my top 10 movies of all time. Okay, so let's get this rolling. Number 10, the T-1000. Man, how I hated this guy. If you start hating an actor's face because you can't help it but associate him with the character that he plays, you know this actor is doing a very good job. And that is exactly what Robert Patrick was able to accomplish in the role of the T-1000. He was absolutely incredible in this role. The T-1000 is introduced on the epic Terminator 2, and he is a great villain that can turn itself into almost anyone or anything. This metal killer is an astute, ruthless, fast and efficient Terminator. I felt for his victims because they could not see him coming until they're dead. The T-1000 is also one of the main elements that made Terminator 2 such a massive success. I was always fascinated by this character because he's not only had the shape-shifting ability, which is really cool, a menacing face, but he beat the crap out of the T-8000. I think this character is really cool, so he's definitely on my list. Number 9, Voldemort, played by the super talented Darth Sidious. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Voldemort is the arch-enemy of Harry Potter and a scary-looking villain. All the wizards in the Harry Potter world do not even dare to speak his name. They refer to him as he who must not be named, or you know who. He's also the founder of the evil group named Death Eaters, whose sole purpose is the destruction of Muggles. And if you don't know the Harry Potter world, Muggle is a person that is not born under a magical family and does not have any magical abilities. So Voldemort is obsessed with this idea of pure blood. Ooh. Remind you of someone? But the funny thing is that he's half-blood himself. His mother was a Muggle. So this character is truly evil and there's absolutely nothing likable about him. So he's really scared me and he's definitely on my list. Number 8, Jason Voorhees. He is the main character on the horror films Friday the 13th. And he's definitely on my list because he's really scary. I cannot even tell you how many nightmares I had just thinking of this guy. His main goal is to stalk and kill people and scar protagonists for life. If they survive, of course. Jason is a pretty classic horror figure. He's mostly invulnerable and he possesses super strength. Jason doesn't die because of the curse to Crystal Lake, in which they say he drowned as a boy, but keeps coming back. Technically, his motivation for slaughtering people is to avenge the death of his mother, Pamela Voorhees, and to avenge the abuse that they both endured due to his deformity. Jason's appearance in the films are usually hinted by the very scary music. If you ever walking alone on the street and you hear this song, run. Do not play around with this guy. He's definitely gonna kill you. Number 7, Freddy Krueger. Another iconic horror character that scared the crap out of me. Do you have any idea how many nights I couldn't sleep because of his ugly face? A lot. Freddy Krueger is a burnt serial killer who wears a glove armed with razors, which he uses to attack and kill people during their dreams, causing their death in real life. So he's only powerful inside people's dreams, so if you manage to wake up before he catches, then you can live. The interesting thing about this character is that I've always thought that he represents people's subconscious fears. Freddy's backstory is also pretty dark. He was burned to death by some people on his town, and after that he came back to life and began killing people in their dreams. He is terrifying. Number 6, the Alien, aka Xenomorph. This creature is very scary and very hard to defeat. This extraterrestrial being is a ruthless killer and one of the deadliest of all alien species. These creatures need a host organism in order to reproduce. And I'll tell you one thing, when it's time for them to be born, poor host, you're dead. The alien is a deadly creature. It has acidic blood and they actually know where their prey is hiding because of their observational intelligence. And this is a vicious monster that when you're faced with one of them, there's no escape. Unless you're Ripley, of course. My gosh, this creature caused so many painful deaths, not to mention the fact that they have an inner jaw. Talk about an efficient killer, this is the perfect example. And if you think acidic blood, intelligence, and inner jaw is not enough, it also has deadly blade tipping tail, which has a great strength to pierce through its victims. This thing terrifies me big time. Number 5, the shark from the movie Jaws. My gosh, this villain changed my beach experience for life. I'm not even joking. There's not even one time when I'm at the ocean that this vicious killer does not pop in my head. And guess what? This scary creature does not appear until 1 hour and 21 minutes into the film. And although that actually happened because of problems during production, it worked wonders for the film because it made it even more scary because you can't see it. And I believe it kind of mirrors very well how a real life shark attack would go, because if you're there in the ocean, you really have not a good view of what's going on underneath. They could come from anywhere, and the attack is always very unexpected. So I think that the fact that we don't see a lot of the shark in the film was the perfect formula. And another thing that increased the fear is the perfect score in that film. You know something is not gonna go well. The shark was also huge, and his sole purpose is just to eat whatever and whoever is on his path. I'm obsessed with sharks because I think they're fascinating and terrifying at the same time. And I also think that the shark is the perfect villain because he does not need character development or motivation. We already know that shark equals danger. We know that shark equals teeth, very sharp teeth. And if you were to encounter one of these monsters in the middle of the ocean and it decides to attack you, my God, poor you. So this shark terrified me. I screamed so many times in that film, so he's definitely on my list. Number 4, the Emperor, aka Palpatine, aka Darth Sidious. This character is the pure incarnation of evil. He's extremely intelligent, manipulative, scheming, and powerful, whose patience destroyed the Jedi Order. He is also considered one of the greatest villains in cinema history. Palpatine was trained in the dark side of the Force by his former master, Darth Vader, but eventually he took on his own apprentice, Darth Maul, and killed his own master. Fun fact! Did you know that Darth Vader manipulated Palpatine into killing his own father? Much like Snoke did to Kylo Ren. No wonder a lot of people thought Snoke could be Darth Vader. Maybe he still is. Who knows? This evil emperor lived a double life, one as Sidious, the Dark Lord, and one as Naboo's senator, Palpatine. Sidious is very powerful because he is indeed very knowledgeable in the Force, mostly to do with the fact that he studied different aspects of the Force, not only the dark side. He enjoyed torture and manipulation, and he was able to deceive Anakin Skywalker and bring him to the dark side. And in doing so, he built an entire galactic empire. Sidious is recorded to be one of the most powerful Sith Lords who ever lived. Number 3, Predator. This is an alien who enjoys hunting and collecting human skulls as a trophy for sports. This creature has a cool and frightening look, and his body resembles a human. He is an intelligent creature who has advanced technology such as direct energy weapons, camouflage, and interstellar travel. The Predator stalks and kills his victim using not only his technological weapons, but also things like nets, blades, and spears. When I first saw this character on screen, I was truly fascinated by it. I think he's really smart, he's a great warrior, and he's truly terrifying. Not to mention that he's very hard to defeat, unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course. Number 2, the Joker. Several famous actors have played this role before, such as Mark Hamill, Heath Ledger, Jared Leto, as well as Jack Nicholson. The Joker is one of my favorite villains of all time. He is the arch-enemy of Batman, and he has a criminal mastermind. The Joker has a sadistic humor, he's a psychopath, and he's also known for his tricks and pranks. His most famous origin story tells that he fell inside a chemical waste tank and got his skin bleached white. He got his lips red and his green hair. And this deformity drove him mad, making him a very interesting character to watch. Sometimes he teams up with other supervillains in Gotham because he's super obsessed with destroying Batman. The Joker is a great pop culture supervillain and one of the greatest character created who also possess an incredible laugh. Number 1. Darth Vader, aka Anakin Skywalker. He is my number 1 because he's the coolest villain ever created. He almost convinced me to go to the dark side, and I'm super nice. I love the light. But jokes aside, I think Vader is one of the most charismatic, iconic, and greatest villain in cinema history ever. He's incredibly appealing not only because of his menacing look, his scary breath, and his incredible fourth abilities, but because he was once a hero. I believe that this character is also very relatable because we all struggle with darkness inside of us. However, his embrace of the dark side was also what caused his demise. His story is known as the tragic hero who lost everything he wanted to protect once because of his arrogance and lust for power. Darth Vader is also the character who brought the biggest surprise revelation to cinema when he revealed to Luke he is his father. This scene became as iconic as the character itself, and it came as such a surprise that the audience did not believe it to be true. So much so that in the Return of the Jedi, Luke gets another confirmation from Yoda to assure the audience that Vader is really his father. Before he turned to the dark side, he was a great warrior and a powerful Jedi, married to Padme, who by the time he turned was already pregnant with Luke and Leia. In his final battle with Luke, he refuses to turn to the light, saying that it's too late for him. And he also learns in the same battle about Leia. Former Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one to bring balance to the Force. But in the end, he fulfilled the prophecy when he destroyed Darth Sidious to save Luke Skywalker. So guys, I got to the end of my list. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have a different list, comment below. I'd love to hear about it. And also stay tuned for my top 10 movies of all time, coming very soon. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I'll see you next time. Bye. He was absolutely incredible. If you like that, and before we get blah blah blah, this is going to the bloopers. The T-1000 was also one of the major elements that made the T-1000 was the or Death Eater with he's also the founder of the another iconic horror character another iconic horror character